guest today is Christina LeBreton and her friend Odin. Christina, tell me what you do because it's a job I think I would just love.
Well, I'm a certified behavior therapist trainer for dogs, and I've been doing this over 10 years now and professionally in Sault Ste. Marie since 2003. I specialize in problem behaviors, especially things like aggression, and because behavior modification and obedience training go hand in hand, I also do the obedience training.
How did you first get interested in this? Is it your love of dogs?
It's actually a little bit of a funny story. When I was young, I was mauled by a Doberman. I think I was about 2 or 3, and everyone thought for sure I'd be afraid of dogs,
right.
But I went the total opposite route. And then when we were living in Wawa at that time, and when we moved to the Sioux, I had this little cockapoo named Buddy, and I think I was about 7, and Buddy used to run away every day, and I was the only one who ever went to go chase him, and I said, you know, there has to be another way to do this. So as I got older, I got more and more interested in behavior with dogs, and well, I really don't like it when dogs run away.
Right.
So I've been there with everyone else in the world. You know, the biggest complaint, my dog doesn't come when called.
Yep.
Well, I've been there, I've had that dog. So Buddy, my cockapoo, was one of the biggest reasons that I went into training. And then when I was around 12, I got a dog named Sierra. She was a Rottie Shepherd cross, and she was starved and badly beaten, and I had to rehabilitate her. She lived about 10 years with me. I think she was 2 or 3 when I got her, but she lived for another 10 years, and she was my biggest inspiration, hence the Sierra Canine Services.
Now, what kind of method do you choose to train them? I know some people use clickers, some people use hand signals. What's your recommended way?
Well, I've studied clickers, and I've studied the really harsh methods, and to be quite honest, I find that I'm right in between. So I use correction, but at the same time, it's a praise-play method, so I have a lot of fun with the dogs. I try to make it so that the dogs are learning through play. And, you know, I do a lot of running with them, I'm fast, I jump around a lot, and the dogs seem to really respond well to it. I try to keep it as positive as I possibly can. And, you know, I tell people, like, this is an acting career. You could be in the worst mood in the world, but you still have to be happy and outgoing and, you know, make this fun for the dogs. And that's exactly it. And I try really hard to make it so that the owner-dog bond is very strong. So I would say that I'm right in between. I think that all the methods have their place, though.
And what is the most common thing that people do wrong? Puppy, like say they get a puppy, but
when they have a puppy, overcorrection a lot of times, and not socializing enough. Socializing is very critical from 6 weeks and up, and a lot of people don't do it or they don't know how to do it. With Odie, for example, he's very relaxed and very well conditioned to just about everything that's going on. So I would say that his owners have done really well so far.
He's a beautiful dog.
He's a really big sweetheart. And he's 4.5 months, so he's doing pretty good.
That's great. Now you mentioned that coming when called is one of the, what other issues do people have?
Aggression.
Aggression.
Yeah.
And how do you deal with that?
I come and I meet the dogs first, and then I see exactly how bad it is, because some people either underestimate when they're talking to me on the phone, or they over-exaggerate, or, you know, they are dead on, but I have to see it for myself. With some dogs, you know, it's not as bad, and just simple tweaks to their daily routine help. Obedience training is the biggest, having a dog that's reliable. That's probably the most important thing, because, you know, even if they are upset that there's another dog around, at least then you can control it.
So you're training the owners as much as you're training the dog, then, right?
The dogs know how to do it. It's just, why should I? You know,
right.
That's their biggest question. Well, why should I do this for you? What's my reward?
Well, I think I'm going to have to come and see you because I have 2 dogs, and they come when they're called. But if they see like a squirrel
Yeah.
They don't listen. I could stand there and scream until I'm blue in the face, or call until I'm blue in the face, and they're gone.
Yeah. I do work under heavy distraction at all times. So like my group sessions, for example, we're outside. There's numerous dogs. We're running around, you know. I throw toys, I blow bubbles, I make all sorts of noise, you know. We play Frisbee, and the dogs are expected to sit there and wait. And anyone who's been to my programs, they'll say, you know, oh, what do you remember the most? Face-off Frisbee. And I have clients that like to come back, you know, for more training because we have so much fun while we're doing it.
Well, sounds like you do.
Yeah, it's a blast.
And when you have all these dogs together, what's preventing them from, like, if some of them are aggressive, if they're going to fight, just keep a firm hold on them? Or, like, is it difficult to work in a group?
I do muzzle training as well if I need to, for the safety of everybody else involved.
Right.
So if the dog is extremely aggressive, then I don't let them into group, because safety is my number one concern at all times. If it's just a mild fear-based thing, then we work on that. It's totally dependent on the dog. So like I said, if it's really severe, then we'll do private training with that dog and eventually lead up to group.
Right.
But it is dependent on that, and I mean, I do take safety precautions into matter as well.
What's the average number of sessions they would need? I guess it depends on the severity of whatever the problem is.
Right.
But is there, would it be 8 roughly? Like, what gives you a good base for it?
I do 12. And in that 12, with private training, I also cover any problem behaviors that you're experiencing with your dog. And I go through all of the obedience commands. So everything from walking on leash to coming when called to staying put when there's other dogs walking by, or kids, or people coming up and petting you. You know, I try to do all that with heavy distraction. And with the group, we do all that, and then there's heavy distraction in there as well. So if the dog's doing really good, I move on. I don't stay there. I make it harder for them, you know, because it's just like a very intelligent child in school. You don't make it harder, they're going to act out.
Right.
So.
Well, Christina, we have to take a short break, and then you have another dog to pick on. We'll be right back.